welcome back to my channel. My name is T and I love all things skin and beauty, and today we have another shop my stash, shop some of the products that I brought I haven't used yet, and also first impressions on the new eyeshadow palette from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. I am slowly not doing well with my no buy. But you know, it's all fun, you know. But I have the Old Soul eyeshadow palette, and it does also come with coins. They said that they're going to make 12 palettes from this series, so that's gonna be interesting. But it comes with a coin, and this is Fragments of the Self coin. This is what it's called. This is what it looks like. Has a little hourglass too. That actually is pretty cute. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I want to take it out of the thing or leave it, but I'm just gonna leave it because I tend to lose things anyway, so I'm just gonna leave it in there. But basically, it is the archetype collection. It is a study of self through enduring human identities. Each palette in this collection represents a distinct archetype, not a trend or a mood, but a part of who we are. Some archetypes are worn openly, others are revealed over time. Every palette includes a collectible metal coin uniquely designed to represent its archetype. Each coin is part of a 12-piece series, so they are doing 12 eyeshadow palettes with this. And is intended to be kept and collected. The coins are permanent markers of the collection. When all 12 are gathered, the study is complete. This is not a seasonal release. It is an evolving archive. Okay. So they might continue this later on throughout the years. Maybe they probably won't release every single palette this year. The Old Soul, for the ones who feel deeply, love quietly, and see beauty where others don't. The Old Soul represents timeless hearts and thoughtful minds, the kind of people who were never meant to rush through life, but to feel it. Okay, this is cute. I like it. I like it. Glaminatrix is cruelty-free as well, and for this one, this palette was made in PRC, and it is a 24-month shelf life. And yeah, so we're going to play with this palette here. I'll do the reveal later on, but right now we have to get my base put on. I have some new goodies and some old goodies that, you know, I gotta use because I have a big collection, so might as well, right? So I brought the Saie powder blushes a while back. Let me see if I can get, there we go, camera. I'm using a new lens, by the way, so let me know if this one is better or if the old one, if I should put the old one back. So I have these shades right now that I took out from my collection. I don't know which ones I'm going to use, but this one is Grazie, and this one is Amore. So we have this to play with, and that's, you know, pretty much anything that's like really, you know, new. I am also using discontinued you know, products because I have this big collection. I already brought it, might as well use it, right? So I have some Amicole that I want to play with in my collection, and you know, we'll see where this actually goes. But without further ado, let's get started on this Get Ready With Me. All right, I quickly went in with my Lancome Le Base Pro primer. This is my try and true. I'm really hoping that they do another sale so I can get like another one, because I am just using this up. And normally what I do is I spray my brush and then I mix it with my foundation. And the foundation that I'm using is the Catrice Nude Drop Tinted Serum Foundation. Everything that I am using will be linked in the description box below. But yeah, so we basically have our base pretty much good to go. I'm gonna conceal a little bit and then move on to, you know, the cream products like bronzer and blush. All right, now I just put in the Fenty Beauty on. This is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer. I am in the shade 410. This is what I'm currently using right now. And I just use that to brighten up the areas around my face that are in the middle. So like my forehead, my chin, you know, my upper lip right here, and my under eye. And normally what I do is, like, again, I always use setting spray and I spray my brush that I'm going to use. The brush that I was using beforehand was from BK Beauty, the 106 brush. And now I am using the NYX Beauty Conceal and Correct brush. And I think this is a new release. But yeah. Let me spray my brush a little bit more. Okay. All right, gonna spray my brush again and do the other side. I really like this brush. This is a new brush that I'm using from their collection. They were having a sale, and this was included in a set. So I think this might be new because I've seen advertisement of this particular brush on Instagram recently. But I love how it really gets in there. All right, it really blended it in pretty well, actually. All right, this is actually a good brush. I like that. All right, real quick, I definitely do want to go in with some powder underneath my under eyes, just to get that out of the way. Let me see what brush I want to use. I can use this brush. This is the Shodo number 5 brush from Refer. I'm just gonna slightly use this underneath the eyes. I'm using the LYS press powder, and this is in the shade Independent Tan. I'm just gonna pat some of that powder onto the brush. Now this brush is shedding a lot, so, but that's with like any like natural hair brush, especially like, you know, Go Care and things like that. It tends to really shed. I like how it's really fitting in there too. I'm gonna do my forehead too, where I applied any concealer. I'm just going to powder with this pressed powder here that I have. Yeah, it is definitely shedding. Okay, this should be good for now. And I'm gonna move on with cream bronzer. I'm using the Milani cream bronzer in Spicy Season. And I'm going to, honestly, I can take another Refer brush. I'm gonna use number 4. And I'm just gonna tap some of this onto the brush. Like so. Now this, by the way, these shed, so you gotta be really careful with this one. Yeah, I've totally forgot that I had this bronzer in my collection. I was like, let me pull this out and see what this is looking like. Because I know I used it before, but I just forgot that it was in my collection. It's very subtle. Yeah, it's very subtle, I would say. I might need to get another shade, which is probably why I wasn't really using this and why I forgot. I mean, it's there. It's just very settled. Like, I have other bronzers that are much, much pigmented than this, which makes me believe that I need another shade. I mean, it is kind of buildable, but I kind of like the one and done type of product where I don't have to, like, you know, continuously go in with products in order to build it up, to be honest with you. But yeah. All right, now I do want to test these other cream blushes that I got from Spellcast Beauty, and I want to see if I could find a similar shade to Grazie, which is kind of like a brown red type of shade. I'm trying to see if I can find anything that I can use, because I do prefer cream product and then go back in with powder. So let me see if I can find something that's similar to that shade. All right, so I have a couple of some cream blushes. Some of them are also new that I have not tested out at all. So let's see if I could find something that is similar. Now I do have some nude sticks that I might go in. I'm thinking about going in with Bohemian Rose. That looks like the shade would fit with this one just based off of the packaging. So we're gonna go in with Nude sticks. And this is the shade. This is what the shade is looking like. And let me get another Refer brush. I have a bunch of these, so yeah, we could definitely use some of these for sure. So I'm gonna take the same brush that I used before. I just wiped it down with a microfiber towel just to get it decently cleaned. And then I'm just gonna take this Nude Sticks blush and Bohemian Rose and start applying this kind of slightly on top, like so. Now, I will have to say these are more on the balmy side, which is why whenever I do apply their product, I tend to go on top with powder. But it's definitely buildable. It's pretty much, they create one of my favorite blush, cream blush stick formulas. It's just that sometimes they're a little bit too soft, so they don't necessarily last that much in a collection, at least like in mine. But overall, they're one of my favorite blushes to use. All right, and glistening. So that's pretty much done. And now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go back in with powder bronzer, and I am probably going to use the L'Oreal one. I mean, not the L'Oreal one, the CoverGirl one. I definitely want to continue to give this a try, especially since now that I know how to use it, which is I have to use like more of like a soft brush and not a stiff brush. So that's what we're going to do. That brush is way too big for me to use. Maybe not. I'll go in with this brush. This is the brush from Refer. It is the number 5 brush. I'm just gonna tap slightly on it like so. And it's powdery. And like you don't like, I wouldn't like swirl it because then it'll get all patchy. But you can just like tap it like that. And then just start buffing it in like so. And then definitely you can still see the shimmers, and like you can still see it up close. But it's not too like much, you know, especially if you use a brush like this, you should honestly be fine. Gonna go on top of the cream bronzer, slightly below where I placed the cream blush, and we're just gonna continue to build that up. And then if you need to go in with more, then you could go in with more. Now we definitely have to be careful with Refer because again, they tend to shed, and you want to make sure that you grab it as soon as you see it. Otherwise, it's probably going to get buried in your makeup that you just put on your face, which is not fun. Not fun at all. Okay. But yeah, this is growing on me. I will say, this is definitely, this is growing on me. Again, is it similar to Hourglass? No, but it's decent. But if you're looking for something that is more like Hourglass, this ain't it. But it's nice, it's pretty, it's a nice formula. Okay. All right. Now, let me just slightly take some on my nose. Okay. Yeah, you definitely see it. Look at that. Look at my nose. You definitely see that right there. The gold shimmer that's peeking through. All right, now I'm gonna take the same brush, but I'm gonna flip it to the other side, and we're gonna go in with the Saie powder brush. It is the SuperSuede Radiant Blush Powder in Grazie. And I'm just gonna slightly tap. This kind of reminds me just a little bit, and I don't know, maybe it's because of the like design of it, but kind of reminds me of Black Radiance, their blushes. Ooh. Yeah, this was a great choice for sure. Yeah, it is just like that cream blush. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, it's definitely shimmer. It's like a soft shimmer on here too. Just slight. So you don't lose that, you don't lose the, you know, the sheen, the glisteniness that's coming from the cream blush that I just put down. But they definitely work hand in hand together really well with this formula. Both of these formulas really work well with each other. This is nice. I definitely like this a lot, actually. Yeah, definitely. This is interesting. Now, if you prefer more of like a matte blush, this is not for you. This is, it's kind of like the Kosas blush powder. It's kind of giving like that, just slightly, but it's definitely very, like, it's a soft shine to it. But it's more enhanced because I still have that cream blush that I put on before I put this powder blush on. But either way, this is pretty good. I like that. All right, now that, you know, pretty much the base is pretty much done, I could go back in and just make sure I get my face and powder it just a little bit more. So let me do that. I'm going to use the Hourglass powder. I definitely love this powder. It's one of my favorites. And I'm going to see, what brush do I want to use? I could use this travel brush from Morphe. This is the M104.5 foundation brush, but we're going to use this for powder instead because it's definitely really fluffy and you know, I feel like I can like swirl it just a bit. Okay. Yeah, this is perfect for this, for sure. Yeah. Oh, this is nice and soft. I definitely forgot all about this brush. I definitely forgot that I brought this brush and this, you know, okay, that's actually pretty nice. Gonna put some more on. Now, what you could do is maybe you could just slightly put some powder over it like so to make it a little bit softer. Then that might be something where you can do that. You see how it's much softer, just a tad bit. Then that's something that you can do. So you see how this looks right now. And then when I go in with powder, it's much more softer. It's not as shiny as before. As you can see, then it might be something where you can get away with the sheen of it all. All right, now we are done with the whole entire base now. And then now I'm just going to quickly go in and do my brows just a bit. Just a bit. And then we can move on with the eyeshadow. All right, for the brows, I did go in with the LYS Secure Brow Pencil in dark brown. I kind of feel like they should go and add another color that's darker than dark brown, because there's a reason why I don't really use as much is because it's not, my eyebrows are much more darker than this pencil, but it will do for now. All right, and let's do the palette reveal. Oh, I like how they also place little protectors for the shimmers. So we're going to carefully take those off of the shimmers. Ooh. These shimmers are already looking just gorgeous. All right, last one. All right, and now the reveal. So this is what the palette looks like. It's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Now I will have swatches and stuff, definitely. I will put it somewhere in this video, but this is just gorgeous. Now I do have lighting, so it might appear differently, but this is what we are is what we are going to be working with, which is really, really awesome. Like, this color story is amazing so far. So yeah, let's get started on this, shall we? All right, so I'm gonna quickly go in with Echo, which is this shade here. And I'm gonna put this on the outer corner just slightly, because as you can see, their mattes are very, very pigmented. And I'm just gonna blend it out just a bit using the same brush. And I'm not worried about this getting pretty messy, to be honest with you, with this look, because we're going to also go in with shimmer as well. But with their like formula, it's like really good. Very pigmented, easy to blend. So that's what we are doing. So I just took some of Echo, put it over the outer corner, and now using the same brush, I'm just blending it out like so. And so far, I like this shade of Echo. It's a nice shade. And also, it's not getting patchy as I blend this out. It's evening out, which is amazing. Just what I wanted, as you can see. So yeah, we have that now. I kind of want to build this up just a bit too. So I'm going to go back in with Echo. I'm just going to slightly stamp this on. Like so. And then blend out the edges just a bit. But it's a nice like plummy red shade. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Then I'm gonna blend out the edges. All right, so far so good with this. All right, now I'm going to take another brush. I'm going to use the Morphe brush in M333.5. It is the eye blender brush. This is like their travel size set that I got on sale. So, you know, there's that. And I kind of want to go in with Flicker and Hourglass together. So they're the tan neutral shades here. So we have this shade, which is Flicker, and then Hourglass that's next to the gold shimmer shade. And we're just going to use that kind of like slightly as a transition to kind of like help blend this out just a bit. And then I'm going to go back in with Echo just a little bit, just like a tap. because I don't want that to get lost with the blending brush. There we go. Just like so. So it's a little bit more softer. Definitely will say Flicker and Hourglass. Definitely probably put those on first before you go in with a more of a deeper shade. But we're going to repeat the same thing that we did on this side. Just notice that I'm covering. Maybe I should switch it to an actual, let me get my mirror because I keep on covering, which sorry about that. But I'm just blending it in with Flicker and Hourglass, the Echo shade, just to make it a little bit softer on the transition / crease area. Like so. And I'm going to repeat the same thing. So this is what we are working with right now. I'm just going to slightly blend it. Yeah, I love the Echo shade. And I love how like muted and gray it gets, just slightly gray, when I mix it with Flicker and Hourglass. Like it gets a little bit, just a little bit muted. But yeah, this is what we're working with. And do I want to drag this out a bit? I'm not entirely sure just yet, but maybe that would be, that will bring the look together if I did it like that. So let me see if I could find a small brush. I think this would work. I'm gonna go in with my Catrice Cosmetics brush. This is the E60 brush, and I'm going to tap into Yearning just a little bit, and I'm just gonna put this over my under eye. Just slightly. Again, I'm tapping it. Like so. Doing it on the other side. Like so. Looks nice. I like that. And now we're gonna put on some glitter primer and get into these shimmers. Now, all of these shimmers are really, really gorgeous, and I don't know what to pick because they are so gorgeous. So I don't know what to pick. I really don't know. All right, so we can go in with Still, which is more of this purple shimmer. Oh, that looks so cute. Or we could go in with Remnant, which is more of like a white, pink, silver type of shimmer. Or we could go in with Timekeeper, kind of like Timekeeper, just a little bit. It's more on like the mauve shimmer side, leaning mauve. I do not know what to pick. All right, I'm gonna go in with, what was this? Timekeeper. I'm gonna go in with Timekeeper. Ooh, that looks nice. Oh, that looks nice, actually. That looks gorgeous. Okay. All right, and then maybe I'll go in. What shade is this? Is this Remnant? Yeah, it's Remnant. Maybe I go in with Remnant as well. On this side here. Like so. I'm curious if it's gonna be looking like the same shade though, because I feel like if once it's blended all out, it'll kind of look like the same. It's like a slight difference, not quite, if you lay it together on top with Timekeeper. Remnant and Timekeeper, kind of the same slightly once blended in, but yeah, we're gonna go back in with Remnant and Timekeeper. Do the same thing that I did on the other eye. Like so. And then going to go in with Remnant. Like slightly. I think Timekeeper is more cool and Remnant is like, you can see that it's the slight like pink side of it. So maybe that's how you can tell the difference, is that Timekeeper is much on the cooler side. But so far I'm really liking this for sure. All right, yeah. This is pretty much the final look, guys. I don't really do eyeliner, but I'm gonna go in with mascara and close out this video along with applying my lip, because I forgot to do that, but I will do that, and we'll be right back and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, for the lip, I'm going in with the LYS lip pencil and Rise Above. And with this, you kind of have to warm it up on the back of your hand. They are slightly on the stiffer side. And my lips are slightly dry though, I will say that, so that could be it too. I'm gonna go in with the Micole lip oil, it's so unfortunate. This is in the shade Rose Romance. Is their lip treatment oil. All right, that is it. All right, and this is pretty much the final look. What do you guys think about the palette? I mean, I didn't dip into any of the other shades, but the look that I came out with, I really like this a lot. I will be inserting some swatches up for this for sure. But I definitely feel like I can do a lot of looks with this. And this is a twist on a neutral type of eyeshadow, like Color Story. And you can still get like really grunge looks. Like this is practically like, you know, like you get one of those rich vampy type of looks. This palette is definitely amazing. I love the look that it came out with. Definitely love the shades. I definitely want to go in with the gold shimmer shade, which is called Fade and Still and Whisper. Like those shimmers look amazing. So I'm so excited to play with this some more. But yeah, I am curious about the other color stories that are going to come out with this series. And they said that it won't be released all at once. At least like that's what it said here, which is that this is not a seasonal release. So I don't know, maybe we will get it throughout the year and then following up to next year, because 12 palettes is a lot, especially for an indie brand to release all at once. So I'm curious how this is going to play out, and like what are the color stories they're going to come up with too. But yeah, this is the final look. Let me know what you guys think. I can say that I definitely love the Saie Beauty powder blushes as well. I don't know why I never used this, but these are really nice. Their SuperSuede Radiant Blush Powders are really nice from Saie Beauty. I haven't tried their bronzers or anything because I think those shades need a little bit of more work. But I'm excited to play some more with their blushes. I think I have 4 or 5 of them. So yeah, we can definitely play with this. With my get ready with me is doing my first impressions and things like that. It also does go well with the NYX formula. Like, yeah, this is good. This is good. And again, I'm starting to like this more and more, but again, it is not like Hourglass. So if you are only interested in the fact that you think that this is going to be similar to the Hourglass formula, I would not get it. Or maybe you haven't tried Hourglass and like this is something that you would be willing to try because it's like at your price point, then get it. But other than that, it's not the same, but still pretty decent, pretty good. And just found out that I need a new shade of this. So I will be getting a new shade of the cream bronzer by Milani. But other than that, I think that was all of like the products that are somewhat new to me. Everything else will be linked in the description box as always. And, you know, let me know what you think about this new collection. Do you have any ideas of how they're going to like come up with all these 12 different palettes and this like collection? Do you think it's cool? Because I like the Old Soul palette. It definitely speaks to me, especially the meaning of it. So yeah, I'm curious to see what other palettes are going to come out with in this series, in this collection. And yeah, without further ado, remember to love yourself, be kind to yourself, and love your skin. And I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.